Mrs. Tam here. So growing up in my household, Lunar New Year meant two things, Niangao and Fa Gao. So those are two foods. The first one, Niangao, is like a mochi-esque dessert, and the second, Fa Gao, it's basically a bread. So today I thought I'd try my hand at making niangao, which I've never done before. I usually just go to 99 Ranch and buy them myself, but Mr. Chang inspired me to try to make it myself. Let's try. So we'll see how it goes. First though, I wanted to know why we even eat this, or why this was kind of part of my childhood, or why my grandmother insisted on it. So I Googled, literally here on my screen, why do Chinese people eat niangao for Lunar New Year? And Wikipedia says, great source, it is considered good luck to eat niangao during this time because niangao is a homonym for higher year. The Chinese word nian, meaning sticky, is identical in sound to nian, meaning year. And the word gao, meaning cake, is identical in sound, meaning to gao, meaning high or tall. So there you have it. Homonyms with this other phrase, niangao, that means high year or prosperous year. So.
都知道，你知道，你都知道，好不好？别偷笑笑，让我知道。
I first heard this story as a kid when my grandfather brought me a book about it for New Year's. The story of the Great Race begins with the Jade Emperor, who is the ruler of all the heavens. He realized that a way to keep track of the time was needed and decided to hold a race. The race would determine the 12 signs on the zodiac calendar. Every animal wanted to join for the chance to win the first spot on the zodiac calendar. Unfortunately, the race was across a river, and the cat had a fear of water. The ox was also worried as he had very poor eyesight. Hearing both animals' worries, the rat proposed an idea. The cat and rat could ride on the ox's back and, in exchange, guide him across the river. The ox agreed, and on the day of the race, the trio pulled ahead of the group. Seeing their lead, the cat began to celebrate. However, when they got to the middle of the river, the rat pushed the cat off the ox's back in an effort to secure his chance at winning the race. The ox didn't hear the commotion and continued on towards the shore. Once the ox and rat arrived at the shore, the rat quickly jumped off the ox's back and ran to the finish line, laughing at the ox as he crossed. The ox kept his composure and settled for second place. Following him was the tiger, who emerged from the river having swum the whole way. Meanwhile, the rabbit was hopping across the river from rock to rock. Suddenly, the rabbit slipped and fell into the river. Luckily, a log floated by, and he was able to grab on. A sudden gust pushed the log, and the rabbit was able to arrive at the shore. Fatigued but determined to take his place on the calendar, the rabbit desperately hopped towards the finish, becoming the fourth animal on the zodiac. Following suit was the dragon, who soared down from the clouds for a majestic finish. When the Jade Emperor questioned why the dragon hadn't come first, he told of the village he had saved from fire and the rabbit he had blown to the finish line. While the dragon was telling of his feats, the horse was approaching the finish line. However, the snake suddenly slithered out, scaring the horse and taking the 6th slot. Embarrassed, the horse crossed 7th. Still in the river, the monkey, rooster, and goat were paddling on a raft that the rooster had found. When they arrived at the shore, the monkey and rooster allowed the goat to take 8th place, as he had kept harmony in the group. The monkey then crossed, followed by the rooster, and later the dog, who had swam across the river but had gotten distracted playing in the water. Surveying the winners, the Jade Emperor grew confused. Where was the 12th zodiac? Suddenly, the pig ran from the shore. Surprisingly, the pig was quite fast. When the Emperor questioned his late finish, the pig explained how he'd grown hungry and, after stopping to eat, had grown tired and taken a nap. When all the winners were lined up, the cat abruptly rushed in, soaked with the water of his betrayal. Outraged to find that he had lost his place on the calendar, he swore revenge on the rat. Even to this day, cats hate water and always chase rats when they see them. This is why rats only come out at night. And so, the great race left us with the 12 zodiac animals of the lunar calendar and one unhappy cat. This table is just an easier visualization of the outcome of the great race and the order of the zodiac signs. Additionally, I have included the corresponding birth years for each sign, so if you're interested, you can see which animal you are. I am a rooster along with a lot of my family members. That's okay, but I think it'd be cooler to be a dragon. At least I'm not a rat like my father. My brother got lucky and was born in the year of the golden pig, so he's supposed to be fortunate and wealthy.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Gray. Happy Chinese New Year, happy Lunar New Year to you all. I grew up in the Philippines and my immediate family did not celebrate Chinese New Year at all. It was not a big thing where I'm from in Bohol. However, when I moved to Cebu, it's another neighboring island. You have to remember that the Philippines has over 7,000 islands and each island celebrates it differently. But in Cebu, it was a big celebration, especially when I taught at the Filipino Chinese school. It was a big celebration. And then I got these red envelopes. What are red envelopes? And I soon discovered that these red envelopes contain, wait for it, money. And so these small red and gold packets contain money given to children, family members, friends, and employees as a symbol of good luck. In Chinese culture, the color red is associated with energy, happiness, good luck. So I got lucky to receive a lot of Hong Bao, and I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly, Hong Bao. Happy New Year!
Traditions of the Chinese New Year. The Chinese New Year consists of the first 15 days of the first lunar month. However, people start preparing for the celebration about a week preceding the Spring Festival. One of the most common traditions of the preceding days is house cleaning, which is also referred to as sweeping away the dust. This is a way to drive out bad luck and bad memories from the old year in order to welcome the new year with a fresh start. Another common practice before the new year is putting up decorations that carry a symbolic meaning. An example is paper cuts, which are window arts pasted around the house to display auspicious idioms and images that symbolizes good wishes for the new year. Another decoration are the Chinese couplets. These are lines of complimentary poetry written on red paper, which are then hung around the front door in order to ensure a peaceful year ahead for the family. Finally, lanterns are also hung around homes and public places as a tradition of the Chinese New Year festival, and it symbolizes good fortune and a source of vitality. The last day before the Spring Festival is the New Year's Eve. On this day, families gather together for the reunion dinner, which consists of a variety of different dishes with symbolic meanings. After the dinner, family will stay up past midnight as a way to cherish the time spent together. This is known as 守岁 in Chinese, which is also said to bring longevity to the parents and elders of the family. So here are some of the foods that my family eat each year on New Year's Eve. First is the fish, which is one of the most symbolic dishes of the meal because in Chinese, the fish is actually a homophone for a surplus of wealth and an abundance of food. The next dish we eat is the longevity noodles, which are noodles that are prepared into single long strands that symbolizes a long and prosperous life. Lastly, we also eat the niangao, which is a glutinous rice cake that is a homophone for higher year, making it a symbol for self-improvement in the new year. From the 1st to the 15th, it is a tradition to visit friends and relatives as a way to express good wishes to each other. On these days, people will go to their friends and family members' houses bringing gifts and greetings. Children will receive the red envelopes as a blessing for happiness and good luck. The Chinese New Year ends with the Lantern Festival, which takes place on the 15th of the first lunar month. Some of the traditions of this day includes watching colorful lanterns, guessing lantern riddles, eating tangyuan, which is a glutinous rice ball, and lastly, watching lion dance performances.
Hi everyone, this is Mr. Tran here, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the traditions that revolve around that, which is the Vietnamese Lunar New Year. And one of the really interesting things growing up are not only the traditions surrounding the holiday, but actually the superstitions regarding what you can't and can do during the week-long celebration of the Lunar New Year. One of the things that you can't do is actually take out the trash during the first 3 days of the new year. It is to say that if you're taking out the trash, you're taking out the good luck that the new year brings into your home or family. The other thing that you can't do is break anything. So you should not be breaking any objects or items in your house. What that symbolizes is that you're breaking connections to family and friends in the new year, and you don't want to do that. The one thing that you're really not supposed to do when it comes to your wardrobe is actually wear white or black. White or black represents grieving or death, and that's not something you want. That is typically celebrated during the springtime in Vietnam. So traditionally, that's when things come back to life after the winter. So wearing white or black represents death, which is not okay, and you can't do that during the celebration. The other thing that you can't do is you can't argue with other people. You can't swear. All those things bring bad luck to you for the year, because that's all you're going to do is yell, scream, and swear at other people. So really, the first couple of days of the New Year, you're really trying to set the precedent for the rest of the year. Now, this is a really interesting one. Is who gets to visit you on the first day of the new year. It is said that that person is the person that represents your entire year. So if it's a person who isn't really doing that well right now, or is having some trouble in their lives, they should not visit another person. It should not be the first person to visit that other person. So one of the things that my family and I do quite a bit is actually putting a lot of thought into sort of who we visit first and who we let into our house. And so one of the things that we really believe is that that person can either bring joy, luck, or fortune to our family, or they can sort of bring despair, grieving, and sadness. So there's a lot of pressure for people to come visit you. And there's also a lot of pressure for you to come visit other people as well, because you don't want to be perceived as bringing bad luck to their household. So food is really important to the new year, and there are a lot of superstitions that go along with food. One of the main things that many Vietnamese households adhere to is not eating foods that are connected to things that are broken, things that are suffering. One of the biggest things is not eating any animal products and having a pure vegan diet the first few days of the new year. In a way, it represents a fresh start where you're not killing anything, even if it's for a purpose. You are starting the year off on a blank and clean slate. And so I think, all these superstitions, while they might seem somewhat far-fetched, they are deeply rooted in tradition of Tet, in Vietnam. So maybe give some of these superstitions a try. I know that 2020 and the start of 2021 have been somewhat challenging. So maybe give these things a try to avoid, and I hope it brings you good luck. And Chúc mừng năm mới, which translates to Happy New Year in Vietnamese. Thank you so much.
Since 2021 is the year of the ox, I thought I should talk a little bit more about the ox zodiac and its profile. People born in the year of the ox are honest and earnest. They are often low-key and never look for praise, often hiding their talents. Nevertheless, oxen often gain recognition through hard work. Individuals born in the year of the ox believe that people should stay within their bounds and do what is asked of them. Although oxen are kind, they have trouble empathizing and are unaffected by pathos persuasion. Oxen are cool-headed, logical thinkers, making them great leaders. Based on branches and personalities, the most compatible partners for oxen are rats, snakes, and roosters. Likewise, the least compatible partners for oxen are goats, horses, and dogs. If you're an ox and you want as much luck as possible, you should know that your lucky colors are blue, yellow, and green. Your lucky numbers are 1 and 4, and your lucky flowers are the lily of the valley and lucky bamboo. Stay away from reds and browns and the numbers 3 and 6, as they are unlucky. Career-wise, oxen have a very strong support for almost any career, as they are studious and do well in school. However, based on the ox personality, the best jobs will be stable ones. Thanks to their responsibility and hardworking personality, ox are a good fit for stressful professional jobs. Examples are doctors, lawyers, businessmen, and teachers. So now for the 2021 fortune. Following on the heels of the rat, which is typically a year for renewal and new opportunities, something we saw a lot of this year, albeit not in ways we may have hoped, the year of the ox is a time to ground the upheaval and bring new changes to their conclusion. In the year of the ox, success will come to those who exercise hard work, duty, and discipline. Thank you.